Quilt makers, this could be one of the most exciting quilts I ever make. That's right, our son is getting married in about a month, and a bunch of our friends have sent in blocks. We're making a memory or a wedding quilt. We have the last 2 blocks that just arrived in the mail, and I'm super excited to share with you a bunch of great tips and tricks on how you can make your own memory or your own sampler quilt as well. Are you ready? Let's get stitching. Well, welcome back everybody to So Well right here at Stitchin Heaven on YouTube. My name's Rob Appell and I am a quilt maker, and of course I'm super excited. I mean, how often do we get to make our own wedding quilt for our own children? And this is great. Quick backstory is, yes, my son has been participating in a bunch of our quilting retreats for the last several years. His fiancée Catherine has been joining him. They play guitar, they sing, and they have made fantastic friends with the whole quilting community that gathers together there in Cambria. And therefore, they all wanted to make blocks. And they've presented the blocks already. So Braden and Catherine have already seen the project, but they haven't seen this part of it yet. And so the blocks came with wonderful messages of how to be successful in marriage from folks that have been married some as long as 55 years. So that was super exciting. But here's where we are at today. I have 2 new blocks that have just arrived in the mail. I haven't even opened them. So we're going to start to open them now and look at it as I tell you what's going to happen in the rest of today's video. I have all of the other blocks. There are 18 up on the wall. So we're going to do a 4x5 layout. My blocks are 16 1/4. And if you're thinking about how to make your own wedding or memory or sampler style quilt where you're using a bunch of different blocks from a bunch of different people. Oh, look, there's a note too. And a bunch of different people. What you're going to want to do first and foremost is measure all of your blocks. And you're going to unfortunately have to trim all of them down to the size of the smallest block to make them all the same size. Whether you plan to put sashing between the blocks or not, as you can see over on the design wall, this quilt here is going to finish perfect size without sashing, and I think it's going to help everything go together beautifully. So we won't sash this project, but we will get these blocks assembled pretty quick. The other thing I want to talk about in today's video is actual graphic design and layout. Where should some of these blocks end up? How should they be placed? Oh my goodness, folks. This one looks like it's got hand embroidery on it. Let's check this out. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful. That is just incredible. Look at that stitching. Oh my goodness, and thank you for sending it in. Oh, this is just beautiful. Okay, here's one more. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, you all get to see the kids right there. There they are. There's Braden and Catherine. That's the day he proposed to her. And there's the sparkling wedding ring. And there he is down on one knee. What a good guy he is, right? Up in Yosemite Valley, California. And this is fantastic. And even better, folks, I didn't realize my friends were sending in 2 of these photo blocks. So that means the block that I made yesterday to fill in the space, I'll just move to the back and make the label from his mother and I. At any rate, let's get back into today's tutorial. Now what we're going to go ahead and do, and because this has a photo transfer on it, I want to be very careful, and I'm going to put a low heat iron. And I'm going to start pressing from the back on this one because I need to have all of my blocks pressed before I can measure to make sure that they're all going to trim down to the 16 1/4. Now, I asked my friends to bring me 16 1/2 inch blocks. But you know what happens, even with the best of quilters out there, I just want you to expect to need to trim everything down just because that's what happens when you're working with a variety of quilters and a variety of fabrics and a variety of threads. So if you're planning on a memory quilt or a wedding quilt like I'm doing, please make sure you ask for blocks that are a little bit larger than what you really want in your finished project. That's what I did, but I didn't tell anybody. Okay, we're going to go ahead and press this other one from the back real quick. And then we'll do a measure. Just to get the wrinkles out that came from the postman. Or post person, I should say. Hey, you got a guy making quilts over here. What else could happen, right? Okay, now this one's got hand embroidery on it, threads. I'm still going to press it from the back, but it's not as sensitive. but each block you receive will be unique. So make sure you don't get going too fast and you make sure you're handling each one as you go. Okay, now what we're going to go ahead and do, I love these giant creative, the Quilter Select rulers. This one happens to come in an 18 square, and I only need 16 and a quarter. So when I do something like that, what I do is I'm looking first up at the upper points and the lower points to make sure that I'm doing my best to maintain a 1/4 inch. But I'm also going to be looking at the lines in here. So as I start to square, I really want to square to the lines on the center block first. Now I'm going to come out here and I'm going to check this bottom corner. And I'm a little bit shy, so I'm going to come down and set it exactly at 16 and a quarter, 16 and a quarter. And I can tell this block just needs a little trim off of each side. I'm looking now, and folks, you really do need to do this. You really need to pay attention, right? So I'm looking at this side over here, and it's got a little bit less than this side. So I'm going to rotate my block. I'm going to pull this bottom corner now as my 16 square, even if it's a little shy down there. And then I'm going to trim this edge. And you're going to want to do that, like I said, finding the smallest block, the smallest piece you have, and trimming everything to that to make everything square up nice in your quilt.
Hey folks, while I'm cutting this, I just want to take a second and tell you something really quick. You know, cutting can be kind of a chore, especially when you're doing big projects like this memory quilt. You get piles of fabric and all these precise measurements. It can be a lot. But here's the cool part. If you're doing one of Stitchin Heaven's Block of the Month programs, you don't have to do any of this cutting. Seriously, they're all pre-cut. Everything comes ready to sew, so you can dive straight into all the fun stuff. So, if you're like me, and sometimes you wish you can skip straight to the quilting, Stitchin Heaven's Block of the Month program is definitely the way to go. Well folks, it looks like I finally finished the cutting, so let's get back into it.
Okay, so now that I've got the new blocks that just came in the mail trimmed down, I want to first talk about what you're seeing here on the design wall. Like I said, I took a little bit of time to start pre-organizing. First thing is I took the common blocks. I had 4 of these stars that were very similar. They were made by one of our groups. That was really cool. So I decided to put them in the corners, and then I realized there's a blue side and a green side to the star. So look closely, the blue is pointing up and down, the green side to side. That was intentional so that it all looks cohesive. I want the quilt to look planned out, even though it's made by several different folks. Now here's the block that I made and for my wife and I to sign. So I'll just put this on the back so we can remove this for now. And then because I have some really cool blocks that I really like that are very specific, there's a lot of work done to them, or they're very wedding related, or their names are in there, I want to keep these focused in the center. And as I've been staring at the project, I've noticed this ring down here has really been bothering me. I placed it there originally due to the dark color, the weight of the block color-wise. But as I keep thinking, I'm like, wait, the ring goes on the hand, not on the foot. So I really want to bring the ring. It just feels like the ring should be higher up in the quilt. And because there are words like love and there are signature blocks, there is a definite top and bottom to this project. So I'm also going to keep orientation in mind as we begin to place these. So real quick, I'm going to take and I'm going to move this ring here higher. But I don't want those 2 gray blocks on top of each other. So now I'm giving myself these colors on the diagonals. Colors on diagonals are really a good trick in quilt making. Now, what I'd also like to try to do is get those pictures of the kids in a couple of different locations as well. So now, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to set it down here. But now that makes me feel like I want to put another one up higher. Ooh, I've got a good idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop this down. And wouldn't you know it, this is what happens on everyone's design walls, right? I told you this is a real video happening today, folks. Plus, we got to get the quilt made so we can get it quilted and ready for the big day. Okay, so see what I'm doing? Working in that concept of diagonals again. Now I'm going to bring this picture here. There's a couple of things this really did for us, and I love it. One is this is a larger photograph, so it's, again, like the ring, a bigger center focal. Plus, here's her ring, right? That's starting to make sense as I tell the story in my quilt. Plus, you'll notice the lightness here of these blocks with the whiter backgrounds, and then I also have a little bit heavier, so I have a contrast of color or fabric design going back and forth. So now it's just a matter of finding where we're going to put this awesome. Oh, and I think these greens are going to look really nice again up here. So I really feel like, and then the next thing we really need to do, folks, is we need to step away from our quilts, turn and evaluate them. Have a good look at it. See what you can really see on the design. Make sure everything fits. The fun block you see hanging off of the corner over there, that is actually already been made into a pillow. So I just wanted you to be able to see it as we get ready to get back into our design. Now that you love the way that your quilt looks, all of your blocks are in the proper orientation, proper color layout, and done just the way you want. It's going to be real simple, folks. I'm going to build these in columns. So I'm going to sew the 5 blocks together first by simply taking and matching my seams. But because of color orientation, I'm just going to fold it right off the wall down. And I'm going to walk right back into my sewing machine. Ready? So I'm just going to make sure that I do the same 1/4 inch seam allowance on all of my blocks. I'm going to use the outside of my presser foot to help manage that. And I'm just going to sew through. And what I like to do is make sure that as I finish out each block, I take it all the way back to the design wall, make sure I have everything in the proper orientation. And it's business as usual. I'm going to sew all my columns. And then I'm going to sew all my rows together. And you know, folks, it really hasn't taken me all that long to figure if I stay pretty organized and I slide each block as the rows come off or the columns come off. Now I know this is the bottom seam, so I'll be right back with the top seam. And I literally just hold it in my fingers until I lay it right down, right where I know it goes. And so this has actually become even quicker than bringing the entire unit back over to the wall as I sew each block into the column, and then we'll sew the columns into the quilt. Oh, and doesn't that look terrific? There it is with all of the blocks stitched together. Like I said before, no sashing. All of the blocks were cut to the right size so they all fit back together beautifully. Color balanced, organized, both on theme and content. And I'm so excited. Of course, I still need to get this quilted, and the wedding's just a few weeks away. So I'm super excited. I'll make sure I get pictures of the new couple under their fantastic new quilt. Now, I also want to share with you a lot of the techniques we discussed today in the video are awesome if you're working on a t-shirt quilt. There's a few extra steps in regards to making a t-shirt quilt, and I'm considering making one for all of you. If you're interested in seeing that video, please let me know in the comments below. T-shirt is all you got to say, and I'll start working on that video for you later today. Thanks for being here, folks. Till I see you again, please stay well. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. It really helps support our channel. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Hit the little button to be notified every time we go live or do a new video for all of you. And here's one from the past I think you'll really enjoy.